Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy, the Anime over here, coming at you with something brand new, something that I've been trying to do for a while, and that I've been looking forward to. So, this is What If Naruto Was an Uchiha. This is part 1. The thumbnail subject to change. I'm not exactly sure what I want to roll with yet. Fanfiction will be linked in the description if you want to read it for yourself, or don't like the way that I narrate things. It's totally fine, no harm, no foul. New series are going to be coming out soon. This one's probably going to replace the Obito series. That series wasn't doing too well, and honestly, I've been wanting to read something new. Yeah, because, you know, it was getting a little old. So yeah, with all that out of the way, like, comment, and subscribe. I respond to all comments, heart all comments, like all comments. Also, links for the Discord server and Instagram in the description below if you want to join those and message me for yourself. And yeah, I'm not sure if I have much else to say. No, I think I'm good. So without further ado, cue the intro, please. Yo, and we are back. Honestly, I've been looking forward to doing a What If Naruto Was an Uchiha. I'm just gonna talk for a little bit. This is something that I've been looking forward to, and I wanted to do. In the future, I would like to write one myself. And yeah, I mean, honestly, this is gonna replace the Obito series. The Obito series was not doing very well, and it was a little discouraging. I'm not going to lie, because we were close to the end, and it just wasn't doing what I thought it would. You know what I mean? It was barely getting over 100, and for the time that gets put in, you know, I would like to see something more. And honestly, I was getting a little tired of the story, and I wanted to do something new. So I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from and why we're starting a new series when we are. I just want to do something new, and I feel like you guys also want something new. What If Naruto Was Like Minato will not be ending? That story is just too dang good to cut it like that. So that story will not be ending. However, I do want to start some new things. There's another story that I would like to read that is subscriber made, and that will be getting posted as well very shortly. And yeah, so you know, I hope you guys work with me, and I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from and where I want to move the channel in the future. And I also hope you guys enjoy some of the changes that are being made, because I am trying to adapt and, you know, change certain things to make them better so that you guys can enjoy the videos more. And yeah, so without further ado, let's just get right on into it, okay? This is the author's point. So first off, this is my first time ever trying to write something. I always have ideas and see ways for it to end. I have trouble finding a start and getting where to the point that I envision. I hope that by starting my own story based on an already created universe that I am a huge fan of and really enjoy, that it will help me in creating my own stories and universes on my own without the need to use one that's already made. With that being said, I hope you all enjoy, and please let me know what you think and how I may improve. Thank you very much. So this story is titled Naruto the Uchiha, and it is by one Moses Ochoa 8. If you want to read the story for yourself, link in the description, you can do that. And yeah, no harm, no foul, no problems. And yeah, so without further ado, let's just jump right in. "Nephew, come over here. Come and meet Naruto," Minato said, excited and happy at the sight of his newborn son. Shisui didn't need to be told twice as he quickly walked over to see his newly born cousin. Shisui smiled as he saw Naruto. He noticed that Naruto had jet black hair with a slight tone of fiery red that streaked through, just like his mother Kushina. Like every Uchiha, Naruto had black eyes, but seemed darker than ever seen before. "He's one of a kind, uncle," Shisui explained with joy at seeing Naruto. Resembling so much of Minato the fourth Hokage with touches of Kushina, no Uchiha shared the same look as Naruto, as none both Uchiha and Uzumaki blood. Nor did any ever have whisker marks on their cheeks. Naruto definitely fit Shisui's statement. He is truly one of a kind. "That he is," Minato said with pride. He turned to Kushina. "Here you go, my love," he said as he leaned over and handed their son to her to hold. Sorry, I got tongue twisted. Kushina was exhausted from just having given birth to Naruto, but holding her son brought a newfound strength and energy as her expression changed to that of joy. She held him close as she looked on to Naruto, while Minato held her in a hug as well. "Hello there, Naru. It's your mother talking to you," she said with a smile and a sing-song tone. It was obvious that she was tired, but she wanted to be with her son, and that outweighed any feeling. Minato was smiling wider than ever before. "Shisui, come for a photo. You should be in it too," he said with a waving gesture for his nephew to come. Shisui's parents had died during the war when he was 5. Minato took him in as they were the only ones left of their family. Naturally, they developed a strong bond that was like father and son. Minato's expressing that he wanted Shisui in a family photo showed him that he still held their bond even though his own true son had just been born. It would be a lie if Shisui said he hadn't been worried that with Naruto's birth he'd be pushed away and forgotten. Those worries were now cast out, and in that place was happiness and belonging. Quickly he took his place within the middle of them. Kushina was holding Naruto with Minato's left arm around her and his right hand on Shisui's shoulder, all having large smiles with the exception of a half-sleeping Naruto. "Uncle, I can't wait for him to get bigger. So many things we can do," Shisui said, excited for the possibilities in the future with them all together. "Yes, but don't be so quick to look ahead. Enjoy the moment. Don't take anything for granted, or consider a moment insignificant and turn for another. You never know when it'll be gone. Maybe you would wish to return at that point. You won't be able to. Yeah, I guess you're right about that. Still, as much as he's adorable as a baby, it'll be so much more fun when he's bigger," Shisui giggled while wiggling his index finger around the hands of Naruto, who was trying to catch it. "Minato, I'd like to take some rest." "Take Naruto," Kushina said with a yawn after finishing, as her tiredness had caught up to her. They were in a hideout surrounded by seals and Anbu. She was in a bed but was nowhere near as comfortable as their own home, but it would have to do. After all, the seal that holds the Kyuubi weakens during childbirth. Precautions had to be made. All the people present, along with the third Hokage, knew of where and when this was taking place outside the village. The third Hokage was Minato's advisor and friend. His wife was the lead doctor during the procedure, and that is also how the third Hokage also knew. If the Kyuubi were to escape, everyone knew that no one man could defeat it. The seals around the hideout and within the room were designed to hopefully hold the Kyuubi as well as constantly drain its chakra. It would be in a weakened state upon re-entering the physical world, so by constantly draining chakra from it, they hoped that it could never regain its power or recharge, and potentially can reseal it within another host if they are unable to reseal it within Kushina for whatever reason. Although with a force as that of the Kyuubi, the most powerful tailed beast, everything was speculation in regards to if they could truly hold it back. The only man that had the power to truly hold it back was the Shodai Hokage. Madara doesn't really count, as he couldn't truly hold it on his own. It is true that he could use Genjutsu from his Sharingan to manipulate or even control the Kyuubi, but that wouldn't last. Hashirama could imprison the Kyuubi within his wood-style technique, and that would in a sense be the end of that problem. He could do it to every tailed beast at once. However, that's never been his intent, and he never sought to control them. Minato being present also gave opportunity for him to reseal the Kyuubi. If not, he'd use his Sharingan to buy enough time for everyone to escape before he himself teleports Kushina, Naruto, Shisui, and himself back to the village. If his Sharingan wasn't as strong as Madara's, and currently no Uchiha had a Sharingan that could truly control the Kyuubi. Only 2 people had the potential to freeze it for a time being, but they themselves would have to stand still as well. They were Minato and Fugaku. Fugaku could control it for a short time due to his Mangekyo Sharingan, but that would drain him of nearly all his chakra, and it would more or less be a death wish. Shisui showed great potential and is currently one of the strongest Uchiha, as he unlocked his Mangekyo just 3 years ago at the age of 7. The youngest ever to unlock it, and not only that, but he'd also been a really gifted ninja to this point in terms of his abilities. A true master of the Shunshin technique, as the only ninja that can use it effective in battle. On top of that, he's a master of fire techniques, as he can do most with a single hand sign, and his mastery of Genjutsu is second to none. Minato hasn't unlocked his Mangekyo and also doesn't use his Sharingan nearly as much as any of the Uchiha. He sees it as a tool to be used, not to depend on. Generally, the Uchiha, upon unlocking the Sharingan, use it every chance they get and in every battle. That leads to someone being entirely dependent on the abilities granted by the Sharingan, and what was once a tool becomes a crutch. Minato gladly took Naruto from Kushina as he rested on her and gave her a kiss on the forehead. He looked over to Shisui when they both felt an odd presence of someone that wasn't there, or wasn't supposed to be there. "Who are you? What are you doing here?" Minato stated with a glare to the masked man. He had an orange mask and wore a large cloak that hung baggy, and a hood was up. The only thing that they could tell was that he had a very malicious intent. Given that he was there, it was a safe bet the Anbu won't be responding, as they were most likely dead or incapacitated. They stood still, waiting for some attack, something to happen. Minato had to be careful, as his wife was in no condition to fight or defend herself. Plus, he was holding his child. Without taking his eyes off the masked man, he spoke. "Shisui, here, take Naruto. I can't risk anything here. I'll be with you shortly." He handed Naruto to Shisui, but before he could say anything about wanting to help fight the man, Minato teleported him with Shisui to their house. Shisui now looked down at Naruto, worried, but knew that Minato was a very capable shinobi. He wasn't Hokage for no reason. All Shisui did was place Naruto down on a bed and remain by his side, since there was no telling what the objective of the masked man was. Now that Naruto was with Shisui safe at his home, Minato felt more relaxed about the situation. However, his wife also still being there made him still worryful. Based on the fact that the masked man didn't seem to care that Naruto was gone, led to the conclusion that he may be after the Kyuubi. With that being the case, now he stood between the man and Kushina and took out one of his special kunai. "That jutsu won't help you in this, Yondaime," the masked man said in a deep tone. Minato didn't care to what he had to say, as he was threatening the safety of those he loved. Without even a second wait, he heard the kunai at the man who just stood there. The strange thing to Minato was that it just went right through. He knew this wasn't a clone, it was indeed the man, so he teleported to the kunai and tried to slash at the man, only to phase right through. This doesn't make any sense. What's going on?" Minato thought as the man became intangible during attacks. The man laughed. "Too easy." And below the two of them, the ground started to glow. This shocked Minato as his eyes widened just before the ground blew up from the explosive attacks. He teleported to a different location in the woods outside the hideout. When did he place those? How does that intangibility work? And what is he planning? Minato thought as he stood up from the kneeling position he landed in. He looked back to the hideout. The seals were gone, and he saw the bodies of the Anbu. They weren't dead, but even if they awoke, they couldn't fight until at least a few days later. What was worrying is that he could no longer feel the marker he had on Kushina. Normally, he'd be able to sense it no matter where she was or how far. Even if she had died, the marker would remain. Not knowing where she was made him all the more certain that this was the goal of the man. He wanted to separate Kushina from him, and most likely to get the Kyuubi set free. After a few minutes, he could once again feel the seal he had placed on Kushina and teleported it. He noticed a few things. The Kyuubi was set free, and the eyes had a Sharingan pattern on top of that. It was about to kill Kushina, and he grabbed her and shun to the top of some trees. "Fast as ever, I see," the masked man commented before warping away. "Kushina, are you all right?" Minato said with worry all over his face. She looked pale and extremely weak. He knew she would die soon, since any Jinchuriki that gets their tailed beast extracted normally dies instantaneously. Her being an Uzumaki is the only reason she's currently alive. And if he could reseal the Kyuubi right away, she could live, since the chakra would heal her. But if too much time is taken and she's separated for too long, she'll die regardless. With all that considered, he teleported to their home and stood up, Shisui stood up, seeing Minato return carrying a pale and weakened Kushina. "Here, lay with Naruto, Kushina." Minato placed her down beside Naruto. He grabbed his vest and put on his Hokage cloak. "I'll be back shortly." And then he teleported to the Hokage monument overlooking the village. A few moments earlier, the masked man warped into existence just outside the village. "Summoning jutsu," he said, and slammed his hand onto the ground, and in a large cloud of smoke appeared the Kyuubi. "Destroy everything." The Kyuubi started charging a tailed beast bomb and shot it at the monument, to then have a collateral effect of taking out the Hokage building and Intel HQ. However, just before it had hit a large seal and started being absorbed into it, and then disappeared, and the explosion was far from the village, but still heard and felt from a distance. "I've got to be careful about where I send those," Minato stated, and turned around to see the masked man warping into the distance. Instantly, the man started warping Minato and was just about to send him into his dimension. Until there was a yellow flash and Minato was gone. He's faster than my Kamui. I don't know if you guys can hear that in the background, but somebody just turned the water on. Tired. My bad. Let's get right back into it. Minato landed in a flip and now laid on his back. Damn that ability of his. What is it? He can teleport without seals and apparently can send others away. Where would I have ended up? Minato was extremely confused, and the jutsu that the man was showing made him worried all the more. First was intangibility. Now transportation. Could the two be connected? As he was contemplating all he was learning, the masked man warped in front of him. You are fast, Yondaime. However, this is the end of you. The man was now pulled out a chain and connected it to his wrist, with it hanging behind him. Minato noticed that as he attacked, he would be intangible, which meant that he would go through, but then the chains would cut through him. So his intangibility won't let him attack. He must be tangible in order to attack. Still, that's an issue, as he can be indestructible until he chooses. Minato took out a kunai and they charged each other. Back at the village. Lord Third, the Kyuubi's attacking. The Anbu captain said to Hiruzen as he was gearing up. Yes, I sense it. Go tell the Uchiha to evacuate the civilians. Then have them join the fight, but not until everyone's safe. Get any ninja to fight. However, have the younger generation put into a barrier. We cannot lose them to this. Hiruzen said as he finished preparing for the battle ahead. Hi, the three Anbu exclaimed and Shunsui to do their duty. Hiruzen appeared at the village gate and was briefed on the situation by a Jonin. We must hold the Kyuubi back until the Yondaime comes, Hiruzen shouted as he summoned his adamantium staff, and they started the battle. The adamantium staff is nearly indestructible and can expand indefinitely. With those two abilities, he used it to push the Kyuubi back away from the village, while the other ninja were throwing jutsu after jutsu at it, trying to help and push it back. It was slow and rough for them, but it was working. They all knew they could never really kill a tailed beast. They were just a manifestation of chakra given a physical form. They are immortal, and if sealed into the Jinchuriki, even when that host dies, the tailed beast would die with them, but reform after a couple of years. Their only goal was to get the Kyuubi away from the village, and hope that the Yondaime could do something. Minato versus the Masked Man. The fight had been going on for a few minutes, and neither one was landing anything, since the Masked Man can just become intangible, while Minato was too fast for him. Minato glanced over to the village, and the battle was visible, as flashes of light from jutsus and the roar of the Kyuubi could be heard. His gaze went back to the Masked Man. What an interesting position you are in. You want to go and protect the village, as is your duty as Hokage. However, you can't just let me go, can you? The Masked Man said as he watched Minato looking back to the village throughout the fight. Enough of this. I'm going to have to use Hidaishin level 2. Minato thought as he ran at the Masked Man. They charged at each other, and as Minato went, he threw a kunai at the Masked Man, and it started to phase through his head. The Masked Man was bringing his hand up to attack Minato, while Minato charged up a Rasengan. They kept charging, and just as the kunai finally went all the way through, just before the Masked Man could touch Minato, he teleported to the kunai, caught it in midair, and then twirled his body around and slammed the Rasengan into the Masked Man's back. The man was slammed into the ground as he couldn't react to the speed of the attack, and then was on the ground. A Hiraishin seal was placed onto his back. He teleported to that kunai. The Masked Man thought as he felt the pain from the attack and got up to face Minato. It's time to end this. I need to go back to the village, Minato stated before he disappeared in yellow flash, and appeared directly in front of the Masked Man. It slammed his hand onto the man's chest. A seal formed and glowed, and then he jumped back. A contract seal, the Masked Man stated. You're no longer able to summon the Kyuubi, Minato said, and teleported back to the village, leaving behind a flash of yellow. The battle was raging on, and the Leaf were losing many shinobi to the Kyuubi. It was an overwhelming force, and there seemed to be nothing they could do. They were all starting to lose hope. Then there was a bright yellow flash, and from the sky Gamabunta came crashing down, landing on the Kyuubi. Everyone cheered as now the Yondaime had arrived. Lord Fourth, what's the plan? Hiruzen shouted from the ground. I'm going to teleport it away from the village, but it's going to take a little time to teleport something this big. Gamabunta, I need you to hold it down, Minato stated, and he started to prepare to teleport him and the Kyuubi. It was going to take a lot of chakra, and he had already used a lot. Teleporting the tail beast bomb earlier and the Hiraishin level 2 took a lot out of him. Plus, his fight didn't help to conserve energy. You better hurry, I can't hold him forever, Gamabunta shouted as he was struggling to keep the Kyuubi down. And after a few moments, there was a flash of yellow, and the Minato and the Kyuubi were both gone. He did it! He saved us, one of the shinobi said, and all of them started to cheer. Hiruzen looked to a few Anbu, and they knew it was still not over. "We must find the Yondaime and provide assistance however we can," he said quietly, as he didn't want to ruin the spirits of the shinobi. It was a grueling fight, and they had lost many. My bad, guys. I gotta stretch real quick. I hope you guys enjoy this series, because I would like to read more of it, and I also hope that you guys enjoyed part 40 of What If Naruto Was Like Minato. I thought it was pretty valid. Yeah, and another episode should be coming tomorrow. Hopefully this video gets finished and I can upload it today. I want to get it out around 4 p.m. my time. It's like 1:30 right now, so that should leave me some time to upload it. Also, I'm hoping, so yeah, today's going to be double upload. Tomorrow, I'm hoping to post another video. This one is going to be an entirely different series. This one is going to be, this one's going to be a little easier to catch up on. And I'm going to post the first couple episodes, and then when we catch up to where the author is uploading currently, it's just going to come out whenever he uploads the chapters. So it'll start, and then we're going to wait until he uploads more chapters and to continue. So, yeah, man. Hope you guys enjoy. Let's get right back into it. Sorry for the delay and distractions. They were far away from the village, but still in fire country. Minato looked and noticed that the Kyuubi had still had lost the Sharingan pattern in his eye, and that currently it was still stunned at the moment. "I've got to be quick. I'll need Kushina to help me seal it." "Naruto, I'm sorry." Minato teleported Kushina, Naruto, and also Shisui to his location. He looked at Kushina and had her set up a barrier of chakra around him, and have her chakra chains wrap around the Kyuubi. These chains are indestructible and drain chakra. Not even the Kyuubi can destroy them. They would last as long as Kushina willed them to, so long as she had chakra. Minato began preparing the ritual. "Shisui, watch over Naruto, will you? He's gonna have holy heck, I can't speak. He's gonna have a hard life from this point forward. Be his light in the darkness that will surround him." "I will protect him with my life, uncle," Shisui said as tears started to come from his eyes. He was holding Naruto, and when everything was prepared, he laid him down on the little bed that was made. Minato went through hand seals, preparing for the Reaper summon. The Kyuubi, seeing what was going on and didn't want to be sealed, and tried to kill baby Naruto with his claw. However, both Minato and Kushina jumped in front of the hit, and were stabbed through the stomach and held the claw in place. Minato finished the summoning, placing the 8 trigram seal on Naruto's stomach, and with the help of the Shinigami, sealed the chakra within himself before putting it into Naruto. The entire Kyuubi was put into Naruto, and now the Kyuubi was gone, but now they were dying. Minato only had a few minutes until he died due to the use of the Reaper seal. Kushina had slightly longer. "Is there anything you want to say to Naruto before we go?" Minato asked, saddened that this would be the last time he was with Naruto. With tears and sadness, but still happiness of being a mother. "There's so much, Naruto. I love you. I want you to be happy. It will be hard, but I know, but don't give up. Being in Jinchuriki is something I would never want for you. It's lonely and dark. I wish you could be in a never-ending happiness and joy full of love, but it may not go that way. You'll have your older cousin Shisui, and he will take care of you. You'll also have Jiraiya later on as well, but don't follow in his actions. They're not appropriate, and it's a shame that he's the way he is. Be sure to be respectful and kind, and hold those people that like you close to your heart, and never let them go. They'll be the ones to keep you in the light. There's so much I wish I could teach you. I wish I could be with you." Kushina said, crying. "Minato, I'm sorry. I've taken your time," Kushina said, with tears still running down her face. Minato just smiled and held her close. "It's okay, Naruto. Naruto, listen to your mother, and try to take it easy on Shisui, okay? Don't cause too much trouble, alright? He's young, and this will be challenging, but I know you two will be great." "How can you be so sure it's all going to be okay?" Kushina said, crying. "Because he's my son," Minato said with a smile. He looked at Shisui. "Shisui, sorry that I'll be leaving you alone now. Please help Naruto through this incredible burden. I wish that the villagers look at him as a hero. Without him, the Kyuubi would destroy the village." Shisui nodded. He couldn't speak as he was crying. He didn't want to see them die. He had always seen Minato as the most powerful shinobi ever, and looked to him as if he were indestructible. Today only showed that no man is immortal, and death comes for everyone. He also learned a rather ironic thing about heroes. They're seen as people who would always be there and can never die. However, in real life, the hero always dies. It's their sacrifice that makes them a hero. With one last hug with them all together, Minato died and Kushina cried even more as the love of her life passed away. Hiruzen with 3 Anbu finally arrived to see Shisui holding a crying Naruto, Minato laying dead, and a barely alive Kushina. Kushina! Hiruzen said as he ran over to her. Minato sealed the Kyuubi within Naruto. Shisui's gonna take care of him. Please, help take care of Naruto. Minato and I wish for Naruto to be seen as a hero for holding the Kyuubi. But, if it's possible, try to keep it a secret until he's had time to make a couple friends at least. It's a lot to ask, and I know from personal experience that it'll be hard. Kushina said before going limp. Of course, Kushina. I will do my best to protect Naruto for you and Minato. Hiruzen said a signal to the Anbu to take Kushina and Minato to the village. He walked to Shisui and rested his right hand on Shisui's left shoulder. I just want to say, place your bets. Is Hiruzen going to keep his word in this story? Is he going to keep his word? Or is he just going to be lying? In other stories where he will say that and then not, like in the original. So you think he's gonna stick to his word and protect Naruto or not? That is the question. All right, let's continue. Of course, Kushina, I'll do my best for Naruto. Shisui, this will be hard, not just for him but for you as well. I'm taking you into the Anbu so that your missions are limited and you'll be one of my guards so that I can keep you in the village with Naruto. When he's old enough to take care of himself, you can choose to return to Jonin status or remain in Anbu, but for now it will be this way. Shisui nodded and took it all in. What of his heritage? Hiruzen looked at him and thought, no one can know that he is the son of Minato, at least until he's strong enough to protect himself. Shisui nodded, but him being with me. Yes, we'll cover up the fact that you're Minato's nephew. It's good that your relationship to them was never really publicly known, as even his marriage to Kushina was a secret. Hiruzen said solemnly, so much secrecy had to be done in order to keep those close to Minato safe. But now, the lost goes farther. Sadly, it would make his son never know of his father and mother for a very long time. Only a few knew Minato was expecting a child, one being Kakashi. I believe Kakashi deserves to know. He was Uncle's student, and their connection was strong. Plus, I know he would like to know what has happened. I know he'd help as well, Shisui said, looking at Hiruzen. Hiruzen nodded. As you wish. Is there anything you need of me? Well, where do we go now? I know I can't just go to the old estate, Shisui said, looking down slightly. I'll have a house set up. For now, go to the Hokage office and wait for me there. Hiruzen said as Shisui shunned away. Minato, I will do my best to make your wishes a reality. Shisui sat crying, holding Naruto. He lost the last family he had, but gained another. He still technically has the clan, but that wasn't the same. The Uchiha didn't even know of Naruto, and also didn't know Shisui was the nephew of Minato. Fugaku had been friends of Minato. After all, his wife Mikoto was best friends with Kushina. But Shisui was never around when they got together. Minato wanted to keep the secret of Shisui being his nephew from everyone, since it was safer that way, and Fugaku and Mikoto were the only ones aside from Hiruzen, Jiraiya, and the 3 Hokage guards, and Kakashi, that knew of his relationship to Kushina. As such, they were the only ones that knew that Minato and Kushina had a child on the way together. Although, only Kakashi would learn of Naruto, while the others wouldn't. Kakashi and Shisui were both so young still, Kakashi being 16 and Shisui 10. Naruto, I'll make sure you're strong and taken care of. I know Kakashi will gladly help, Shisui said, looking down on him. The night ended, but there was much to come, as it was only the beginning. Alright guys, that's the end of this chapter. I'm sorry if my reading got a little, just screwed up at the end there. I tried my best. I hope you guys enjoy. New videos coming soon. I'm gonna just pump out some videos, while I'm, feeling very motivated right now. I'm really looking forward to making this new series. Honestly, I've been feeling a little bogged down by the other ones. So I'm hoping that you guys enjoy this and that we can keep posting this because I'm looking forward to it. So, yeah. Without further ado, hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe. I respond to all comments, heart all comments, like all comments. Fan fiction link in the description. Discord and Instagram also linked in the description below. If you want to read this for yourself or don't like the way that I narrate things, link in the description. Just go look there. Alright? And last but not least, I don't know if I said like, comment, and subscribe. But yeah, last but not least, this is your boy, the Anime Ambu, and I am out. Deuces.